जय
Virendraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
जय
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
Shivagana Krishnadas Prabhu ji ki.
जय श्री कुमार
Hare
प्ले
Krishna.
प्रभु की
Thank you.
जय
Oh, Prabhuji, what I am. Hare Krishna. Thank you all devotees once again for joining our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily Srimad Bhagavatam reading morning session. Two more Sarvada Mataji and Ambuli Mataji also. That's all. Okay, till now. Okay, let us see. Hare Krishna. So, Thursday, we have completed up to verse number 38. Verse number 38 of chapter 10. So, today we will start with verse number 39 onwards. Hare Krishna. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtagi. Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Lange Girim Yet Kurvada Mahamande Paramananda Madhavam Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Sri Chaitanya Misharam Om Ajnanidmirandasya Jnananjana Shalagaya Chashurun Milidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stabidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Dupa Katamahyam Dadanti Suvadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yudhapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Sagala Dekunadanyadam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parjansagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Vadan Sahala Lilda Sri Vishakanyadamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshri Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpadarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deva Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Vishnu Vishnu Krishna Gopali Sima Chari Bhagavan Bhai Gopalani Gopinadan Avadan Jai Hare Krishna. Welcome once more, all devotees. Okay, Sananda Prabhuji also joined. Vinod Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, 7 persons. So, we'll start with verse number 39 today of chapter 10. Yena Purvakritam Yattad Rajanaha Krishna Vairinaha Jehu Jehu says Jehu Seta Jehu Seta Ande Tadatmanaha Kidaha Pashaskuto Yadha Peshaskuto Hada Yenaha Purvakrityam Yattad Rajanaha Krishna Vairina Jehusteda Ante Tadatmanaha Kida Kidaha Srido Peshastrido Yadha. Sorry, Peshastrido Yadha. Okay, Hare Krishna. Translation purported by His Divine Grace, Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Not only Shishupala and Yandavakara, but also many other kings also acted as enemies of Krishna, attained salvation at the time of death. Because they thought of the Lord, they received spiritual bodies and forms the same as his, just as worms captured by a black drone drone obtain the same type of body as the drone. Translation once more. Not only Shishupala and Devakara, but also many others. Other kings also acted as enemies of Krishna, attained salvation at the time of death. Because they thought of the Lord, they received spiritual bodies and forms forms the same as his, just as worms captured by a black drone obtains the same type of body as the drone. Puppet. The mystery of yogic meditation is explained here. Real yogis always meditate on the form of Vishnu within their hearts. Consequently, at the time of death, they give up their bodies while thinking of the form of Vishnu and thus attain Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka, where they receive bodily features the same as those of the Lord. From the sixth canto, we can already learn that when the Vishnu Dudas came from Vaikuntha to deliver Jamila, they looked exactly like Vishnu, with 4 hands and the same features of Vishnu. Therefore, we may conclude that if one practices thinking of Vishnu and is fully absorbed in thinking of him at the time of death, one returns home back to Godhead. Even enemies of Krishna who thought of Krishna in fear, yani bhaya, such as King Kamsa, received bodies in the spiritual identity similar to that of the Lord. Hare
Hare,
Krishna. Krishna
Hare.
Srimad.
Thank you, Sri Kumar Prabhu. That pronounce. My humble obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So we are continuing Canto 7, Chapter 10, entitled Prahlada, the best among exalted devotees, Bhakta Shiroman, Prahlad Maharaj. And we are in the section where actually Narada Muni is actually discussing the past lives of the 3 births of Jaya and Vijaya. Like the last 3 verses we discussed about the first birth of Jaya Vijaya, which is actually Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And the second birth is actually Kumbhakarna and Ravana. And the third birth is actually Shishupal and Dantavakra. Here, this verse number 39 is talking about how they got salvation by absorption. The scripture says whatever we are doing, whether we are doing hearing Bhagavatam, we are chanting the holy name, or whether you are doing Archanam, whatever we are doing, the purpose of whatever we are doing, whether we are fasting, is to actually always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That is the basic principle of the scriptures. Always remember God and never forget God. So for that only we are doing hearing Bhagavatam, chanting, fasting, whatever activities we are doing. The purpose is we should always remember Krishna. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vishmartavya Jatuchit. So in that way, even here you can see those who have thought about Krishna even in a negative way, they also got salvation. That's what Narada Muni is saying. So there is a famous saying, just as you are what you eat, our body depends on what we eat. Sometimes we have health problems. They are saying just to change your diet, then everything is okay after that. You eat very good food, like you take salad, fruits, and also you fast regularly. Then automatically whatever body problems is there, that everything gets cleared because you changed your diet. So the saying is just as you are what you eat, you become what you think. That is the main thing. Whatever we think, we become like that. So that way analogy is given here. You can see just as the worm is captured by black drone, obtain the same body as the drone, because the drone is constantly picking the worm, is hitting the worm, or this one, biting, you can say, or biting or stinging, you can say stinging. That is the correct word. Because it is stinging, the worm is always afraid of the drone. Then because of constantly thinking of the drone, it becomes as a drone. Like that, the Bhagavatam itself says this analogy. Narada Muni is giving this analogy. That not only Shishupal and Dantavakra, but also many other things. Like we see Prabhupada writes in the purport, like even Kamsa, he was the number 1 enemy of Krishna. He was constantly meditating how to kill Krishna, but he also got salvation. Even though he was so much inimical towards Krishna. But only criteria was he was constantly meditating on Krishna, but on a negative sense. So many other kings who acted as enemies of Krishna attained salvation at the time of death. Because they thought of the Lord, they received spiritual bodies and forms as same is. Just as worms captured by a black drone obtain the same type of body as the drone. So that's wonderful analogy is given, which is glorifying that anybody who is thinking about Lord will attain the same body as the type of the Lord. The mystery of the yogic meditation, Prabhupada writes here, the mystery of yogic meditation is explained here. What is that mystery? Yogic meditation means people who are doing this dhyana yoga or ashtanga yoga, we can say. What is that mystery of that science? Real yogis always meditate on the form of Vishnu within their hearts. Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratmana, means who is always thinking about me in his heart. So that real yogis always meditate on the form of Vishnu within their heart. What happens for them? Consequently, at the time of death, everybody has to meet the death. We already explained. As sure as death. So we are all in the same line. Somebody is in the front line, front in the queue. Maybe we do not know which is our position. So that is the thing everybody has to face. Whether we like it or not, we are in the line. So consequently, at the time of death, they give up their bodies while thinking of the form of Vishnu and thus attain Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. So because the yogis, they are always meditating upon the Lord within the heart, they also take up the thinking of Vishnu, they ascertain the Vishnu Loka. Their destination becomes Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. So here we should understand, people sometimes, they also meditate in the heart as formless God. They will not attain Vishnu Loka. If you only meditate on the form of Vishnu within the heart, even if you do dhyana, then if you are constantly during dhyana, you are always meditating on the 400 form of Vishnu, then the yogi destination will be Vishnu Loka or actually Vaikuntha Loka. And when they go there, they receive the bodily features same as that of Vishnu. So they will have 4 hands. Same like Lord Vishnu as Sankha Chakra Gada Padma, Sankha Chakra Gada Padma. Similar body they will receive. Those yogis who are constantly meditating about the Lord within the heart. So that is one thing. From the 6th canto, we have already learned that when Vishnu Dutas came from Vaikuntha Loka to deliver Ajamil. So Ajamil past tense we read in the 6th canto, where Ajamil was in the deathbed and the Yamadutas also came and the Vishnu Dutas also came. The Yamadutas want to take Ajamil to Yamaloka because he was very sinful, but the Vishnu Dutas stopped the Yamadutas, telling that he chanted the name of Narayana, so he cannot be taken to Yamaloka. We are here to take him to Vaikuntha Loka, protect him. So those messengers, you can say the Vishnu Dutas, they are the messengers from the Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. They look same like Vishnu with 4 hands and the same feature as Vishnu. So this is Sarupya. Sarupya means you get the same Rupa like the Lord after getting liberation. But when you are going to Golak Vrindavan, you have 2 legs and 2 hands, same like Krishna. But those who go into Vaikuntha Loka or Vishnu Loka, they get 4 hands because there the Lord feature is as Narayana. He has 4. 4 hands. So the similar form, Sarupya Mukti, they get similar body. Therefore, we may conclude that if one practices thinking of Vishnu and is fully absorbed in thinking of him at the time of death, one returns back to God. So as I said, the process is Smartavya Satavam Vishnu, Vishmartavya Jatati. And also Krishna says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, Ma Manusmara Idyacha, Maya Arpita Mano Buddhir, Ma Meveshe Asamshayaha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in the 8th chapter, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. So therefore at all times, Ma Manusmara Idyacha. This Anusmaran is very important. Anusmaran means always thinking of Krishna. Okay, Anusmara Idyacha. And then what? Mayarpita Mano Buddhir. If you give your mind and this one to me, Mahameveshasi Asamshaya. Definitely you will come back to me. So spiritual life is in that way it is very simple, that we should always remember Krishna in whatever we are doing. That we have to practice. While we are now living, we have to practice nicely so that at the time of death also we can remember him. So like every simple material activity, whatever we are doing, like we are taking water, Krishna says, Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya. We every time we are drink water, at least every 2 hours once you drink water. So every time we drink water, we feel very tasty and refreshed. That time we should think about the Lord. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. We should remember that verse. Means this is the taste. Krishna is in the taste of water. And like whatever we are seeing sun every day. Sun is also, Krishna is telling, it is my, this is my affluence, Surya. And night we see moon. And whatever, always we have to think about the Lord. Like Prabhupada, whenever he's walking, sometimes he's sitting under a tree with his disciples. He'll close his eyes, he will tell, oh, this is Krishna's breeze, so wonderfully it is touching our body. So everything, whatever material things, we should connect it with Krishna. In that way, if you practice it, then naturally our thoughts will eventually, always focus on the Lord. So that way, every material things also, we should always remember. Like one time, one disciple asked Prabhupada, like you are saying that we should always remember about Krishna. How we should remember? As Swamiji, can you please explain with a practical example? Then Prabhupada explained, see, you are coming into the room where I am staying. Now, when you are coming near the doorstep, you are seeing my chapel. What do you think? Then the disciple told, when I am coming, when I am seeing your chapel, I'll think, oh, Swamiji is there. Swamiji is Swamiji's chapel. So Prabhupada said, similar way, whatever material things we see, that we see it is Krishna's energy. Whether it is air, water, or it is earth, or it is flowers or fruit, we think, this is Krishna's fruit. This is Krishna's energy. This food I am eating, this is Krishna's energy. Okay, the water I am drinking, this is Krishna's energy. And this sun, it is Krishna's energy. So like that, we have to relate everything with the Krishna, materially also. Then when we habituate like that, then naturally, always we can remember, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vishmartavya, always we can remember the Lord. And so if when you remember like that, then at the time of death also, naturally we can remember. So he's always thinking about him at the time of death. One returns, what happens? Anta kalecha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram. Then Krishna says in the 8th chapter that if you anta kalecha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram, if you think about me at the time of death, then you will definitely attain me. One returns home, back to Godhead. So this is all proper rights who are thinking favorably, because the yogi is always constantly meditating on Lord Vishnu. That is favorable meditation. Now, he is further explaining, even enemies. What about yogis or bhaktas? Even enemies of Krishna. So Shishupal, Dandavakra, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa. So many. And Krishna killed so many demons in Vrindavan. Pakasura, Agasura, Vyomasura, Ahistasura, Putana. Putana, when Krishna killed, Krishna promoted her to be her mother in the spiritual world.
Yes.
Yeah, that one when he is hearing, Sukadeva Goswami is hearing. Before hearing that, Sukadeva Goswami was a Brahmavadi. He was a impersonalist. But when Vyasadeva recited that verse, that Aho Bhakyam, when that verse is there, that hearing transformed Sukadeva Goswami into a pure devotee of the Lord. Because Sukadeva Goswami is thinking, what a merciful Lord. So the demon has come to kill the Lord, but the Lord has promoted her to become the mother in the spiritual world. Then that one verse actually instantly transformed Sukadeva Goswami, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, into a pure devotee of the Lord. So because Krishna is so much merciful. But sometimes we see terrific things happening here. That Krishna is telling, Mrityu Sarva Harascha. Here in this material world, Mrityu is there. Dangers are there. But one who is a devotee, then they will see Krishna is they will realize Krishna is the most merciful. Like yesterday we celebrated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent. Krishna himself coming down in the most merciful form, merciful avatar. Savavatara, Parama Karuna, Paundui Jana, Nitai Gora Chandra. Savavatara, Shara Shiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Among all avatars, the crest jewel, Parama Karuna, Shava Avatar, Shara Shiromani is a crest jewel of all incarnations. When Lord is manifesting in the fullest mercy, that is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are very fortunate. We have come to the Society of Krishna Consciousness, taken the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most merciful, munificent incarnation, and who has come to deliver the fallen souls in this Kali Yuga, and who are not qualified. He has not come to deliver the qualified souls. No. See, Bhagavatam also says those who can read Bhagavatam, only qualified people can. Paramhamsas can recite. Okay, even Bhagavatam we are not qualified to read. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to deliver the fallen, unqualified people. So in that way, Srila Prabhupada says, we can always pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I am the rightful person for your mercy. Why? Because I am the most unqualified person in this entire creation. You will, if you search in this entire creation, you will not see more unqualified soul than me. So that means I am a rightful person to get your mercy, because your mission is to give your mercy to unqualified people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is not giving mercy to qualified people. He is specifically selecting, like Nityananda Prabhu selected this Jagai and Madai, the most unqualified rogues, to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that way, we have so much hope. So that we will get, because we are actually the most unqualified people in the age of Kali Yuga. So that is one biggest benediction in this Kali Yuga. We can get the mercy of the Lord, even though we are qualified. So here Prabhupada writes, even the enemies of Krishna who thought of Krishna in fear, bhaya, such as King Kamsa, received bodies in spiritual identity similar to that of Lord. So it is our wonderful fortune that we are under the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though there are many Vaishnavas in India and around the world, many people do not know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like even there are 4 sampradayas, 4 bona fide sampradayas: Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. And our Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya is actually part of Brahma Sampradaya. So even that 4 sampradayas, the other 3 sampradayas, they do not know who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They do not know he is Krishna himself. Many people do not know. There are books about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you go to a bookstore, they will write only the great saint who appeared in India, like that. So no, apart from this sampradaya from our acharyas, other people, they think that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a great saint because he is Channa avatar. So nobody knows he is Krishna himself. But we are very fortunate that we know about the identity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know his mercy and costless mercy, and we are actually we are under the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through this wonderful moment. So that is the greatest blessing and benedictions which we have received by somehow by the mercy of the Lord.
Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Mercy of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So any questions or comments on this? Please, you can discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, there are a lot of slokas. Prabhu explained this Andakaleja, and same coming at Parayana Kale, Manasa Chalena.
Correct, Prabhu.
So, and the Dhruva Maharaj, even the Dhruva Maharaj also, when he is give up his body, his mind fixed upon the lotus feet. So,
Yes, Prabhu.
So we that is only practice. Even this recent time, recent the day 2 days before, one devotee, right, left his body, but if he is here and he anyhow he got the association. So
Yeah.
that is very important thing, Prabhu.
Association, he honored Prasadam, he heard the holy name.
That will never means waste. So should he can remember that time, even that the here about Krishna and remember Krishna. So how it is happened, that is practice.
We do not know.
Do not know. But it is we think that it will be very beneficial to this body.
Yes, it is same like medicine, Prabhu. When we take a medicine, we do not know how this medicine will work. Whatever we take, whether it is a stomach upset or fever, we just take the medicine. We do not know how. Still nobody knows how the medicine works. But the moment you take the medicine works, and next day you are fine. If there is headache, the headache will go. If there is stomach pain, the stomach pain will go. We do not know. We only just take the tablet, drink water, finish. The medicine will act. Similarly, when we take up the process, Krishna will actually work out the best plan for us.
Yes,
so we do not know how he will do, when he will do, but he will do for sure. So, Kaunteya Prajanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So that is what we have to do. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Okay.
So, if there are no discussions, then I think we can go to...
Yeah, Prabhuji, we'll move to verse number 41, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Verse number 40. You can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, madam. Please.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, Sloka number 40. Yatha yatha bhagavato bhaktya paramaya bhidam nupaschaidyadhyaya smatyam hares tachintaya yayuhu yatha yatha bhagavato bhaktya paramayabhida nupaschaidyadhyaya smatyam
That is Satyam. That is Satmyam. That is
smatmyam
Chadhyaya Satmyam.
smatmyam harestaschintaya yayuhu. Translation. By devotional service, pure devotees who insistently think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive bodies similar to His. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. Although Sisupala, Dantavakra, and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. Translation once again. By devotional service, pure devotees who insistently think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive bodies similar to His. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. Although Sisupala, Dantavakra, and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. Purport. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in connection with Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Sanatana Goswami, it is explained that a devotee should externally execute his routine devotional service in a regular way, but should always inwardly think of the particular mellow in which he is attracted to the service of the Lord. This constant thought of the Lord makes the devotee eligible to return home back to Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. After giving up his body, a devotee does not again receive a material body, but goes back to Godhead and receives a spiritual body resembling those of the Lord's eternal associates whose activities he followed. However, the devotees like to serve the Lord. He may constantly think of the Lord's associates, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the Lord's father and mother, his servants, and the trees, land, animals, plants, and water in the Lord's abode. Because of constantly thinking of these futures, one acquires a transcendental position. Kings like Sisupala, Dantavakra, Kamsa, Paundraka, Narakasura, and Shalva were all similarly delivered. This is confirmed by Madhvacharya. पौण्ड्रके नरके चैव शाल्वे कंसे च रूपिणि अविष्टास्तु हरेर्भक्तास्तद्भक्त्या हरिम् अपिरे. Paundraka, Narakasura, Shalva, and Kamsa were all inimical toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because all these kings constantly thought of him, they achieved the same liberation, Sarupya Mukti. The Gnana Bhakta, the devotee who follows the path of Gnana, also attains the same destination. If even the enemies of the Lord achieve salvation by constantly thinking about the Lord, what is to be said of pure devotees who always engage in the Lord's service and who think of nothing but the Lord in every activity? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you,
Hare
Bhagavad
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here we have come to the next verse number 40, which is talking about the Sarupya Mukti. So there is 5 kinds of liberation which is achieved after spiritual practices. The 5 kinds of liberation we already know, like Salokya. Salokya means residing in the same planet with the Lord. Sarupya. This is Sarupya means attaining the same form of the Lord. Then there is Sarshti, Samipya, and so like that 5 kinds of liberations are there. So here this verse number is talking about Sarupya Mukti. So how pure devotees receive Sarupya Mukti by practicing the devotional service. But not only them, kings who thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. This is what Bhagavatam is saying. Bhagavatam Narada is saying here, by devotional service, pure devotees who instantly think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receives body similar to his. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. So this is the definition of Sarupya Mukti, means to receive the same body, same like the Lord. Only that jewel will be little bit different. Otherwise, the spiritual world, they all look same. Okay. And this is done. This is known as Sarupya Mukti. Although Sisupal, Dantavakra and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. Prabhupada quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita and the purport in connection with Lord Chaitanya's instruction to Sanatana Goswami. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana Goswami, the 10 days in Dashveshma, we all recently devotees went Prayagraj. There it is explained that a devotee should externally execute his routine devotional service in regular way, like what we are doing, sadhana bhakti. Every day we are doing Mangala Arati, chanting. Externally execute his routine devotional service in a regular way. But what they should do, internally what we should do, always inwardly think of a particular mellow in which he is attracted to the service of the Lord. What is that particular mellow? Mellow means rasa. And that rasa, we should constantly internally meditate. What kind of rasa we are very much liking towards the Lord. So that rasas, we know it is mainly five varieties are there. Like we have Dasya rasa, Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, then
Sakya Rasa.
Sakya rasa, and
Vatsalya.
then Vatsalya rasa, then Madhuri rasa.
And Madhuri.
Yes. So in that rasa, even if you see in material life, we are also means experiencing this rasa. Like if you are a family person, you will have some servant in your home, that is Dasya rasa. The Dasya rasa exchange is there. And then we have some Shanta rasa. Like in our home, there are some television, mobile, or those things, neutral. They also give some kind of pleasure to us. When we are interacting with those devices, we get some kind of pleasure. And Dasya rasa, the servant, when he's serving you, you get some kind of pleasure. And above that is actually Sakya rasa. When you call your friend, people go college get together, school get together. They are feeling very happy. They're saying those days will not come again. So they can experience a pleasure when there is Sakya rasa, when there is friendship. And then above that, we have Vatsalya rasa. When we talk to our parents, we experience, some kind of rasa, taste, happiness or satisfaction. When our child speaks to his parents, feel so relieved, happy. And also Madhurya rasa between the husband and wife. There's kind of Madhurya rasa. They feel kind of happiness. So we are experiencing this. Where did we get all this experience from? This we are experiencing because Krishna is experiencing this. That sample is giving us. Like whenever you want to buy a product, first they are giving sample. If you buy anything in the shop, they will attach one small sample, along with the free offer like that. Why they are giving that sample? When you take and use that sample, you like that product very much, then you will go and buy the original product with whatever cost it is. That sample is given to make you to experience and come by that. Similarly, Krishna is giving this taste in this material world, all these rasas to us to actually know that how much will be the original. Here we like these rasas, but the problem here, what happens, this rasa is temporary, but in spiritual world, it is permanent. So how long you can have a Sakya rasa? Now you are having a Sakya rasa with your friend. Suddenly one day he will fight with you. He will ask money, you will not give, then immediately he will cut the phone, he will not talk to you. Or sometimes he will take the money and he will not return back, then relationship will be strained. Yes, husband and wife, they are very good together, suddenly they will divorce, apply for divorce and get separated. And you have a gadget, Shanta rasa, it is working, giving pressure, suddenly it will not work. You see everywhere you go to the service center, they tell no, it will not work anymore. This chip has gone, that device has gone, something like that. See, every rasa we experience here, it is temporary. Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, servant also. Yeah, suddenly they will fight with you, they will stop, not come to work. That one, the biggest problem every company is facing is HR problem. HR problem means people work and suddenly now they will resign and go. without informing, that company will face big problem. So like that, this Sakya, Dasya, Shanta, and we discussed about Vatsalya Rasa. And see, Vatsalya Rasa also, parents will not fight, but they are temporary. You know, one day they will leave us. Then you will have to cry. Even though you had good time with your parents, but one day they have to leave. And then you have to be left alone in this world. So it is temporary. And Madhuri Rasa also we discussed. So many problems coming between husband and wife lead to tension. So Krishna is giving sample. Sample will not last for long. Same thing. So here, with that sample, we should know original is there available in the spiritual world. It is permanent. It is permanent. So that one we have to, that kind of mellow, in that which service I am attracted to the Lord in Dasyas, or I am attracted in Shantaras, like in Vrindavan, the grass and the trees, they were with the Shantaras with Krishna, like the mango tree or the grass. They are very much, doing seva to the Lord. So like when Krishna will sit under a tree, mango tree, and he will play flute, the mango tree will bend and give the fruit to Krishna. So that kind of Shantaras. And then you can see what kind of rasa I am very much inclined towards the Lord. So that kind of rasa is internally, we should actually, should inwardly think about that particular mellow. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the highest mellow through this Krishna consciousness, Madhurya rasa. But again, there are 5 rasas. If you go to Sri Sampradaya, they more emphasize on Dasya ras. That is Vaikuntha atmosphere, Narayana. So the Lord is glorified as from the Dasya Bhav. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given the 5th level, Madhurya rasa. And if you see in these 5 rasas, there is some difference. See, Dasya rasa, Shanta rasa is having only neutrality. Dasya rasa will have both Shanta rasa and Dasya rasa. And Sakya rasa will have Shanta, Dasya, and then it will have Sakya also. Then if you see Vatsalya rasa will have Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and this one. 4 mellows will be there. But 5th one, the Madhurya rasa has all the 4. It has all the 4 rasas. That's the beauty of the 5th rasa. The 5th rasa is a mixture of all the 4 rasas, including the 5th rasa. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Okay, this constant thought of the Lord makes the devotee eligible to return to home, back to God. Prabhupada quotes this very famous verse, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So this verse is actually considered to be one of the most important verses in Bhagavad Gita. Because here Krishna says, like if anybody will try to understand me, Janma karma cha me divyam, in truth, evam yo veti tattvataha, what happens to him? Tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So he will not take a material body again. And Mameti, he will come back to me. After giving up his body, a devotee does not again receive a material body. This is a wonderful destination. Imagine if you are taking 100 births and suffering in this material world. But once for all, we are going to spiritual world. How much it is a big relief from all these material problems. And also always you are constantly in the association of the Supreme Lord. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. It is giving the ultimate solution. We are trying to solve so much material problems, but every material problem, you solve one problem, then 10 problems are standing in the line, waiting for solution. Again, the 10 problems you solve, again 10 problems will come. Throughout life, you have seen. One problem comes, we solve. Next day, another problem comes, we will solve. One day will be financial problem. One day will be health problem. One time will be relationship problem. One time will be society problem. One time it will be community problem. And like that. And you solve one problem, another 2 problems will come. Another you solve, another 5. So this is never-ending issue, never-ending here. So one time when Prabhupada was going through London, there was a road where road was closed and there was written temporary inconvenience, permanent means permanent comfort, something like that. And Prabhupada read this, he said, commented that this material world is actually, it is said that temporary adjustment and like permanent problems. Permanent problems, always we have problems. We are only temporarily adjusting things. But permanently, there is always problem is always permanent. But goes back to home, back to God and receives a spiritual body. And see, the person, the devotee who is liberated, is actually receiving a wonderful spiritual body. Same like the Lord's eternal associates. How the Lord's eternal associates are there in the spiritual world. Similar body the devotee will receive. Whose activities he followed. Like we are following somebody is very sincerely following Yashoda Mata. Yashoda Mata is in actually Vasalyaras, in parental. So they are following in the footsteps of Yashoda, Mother Yashoda. They get a body same like Yashoda Mata. Like whose activities the devotee has followed. Somebody has followed Hanuman, he gets that kind of body in the servitude. Like that. Somebody very intimate, like following the footsteps of Arjun, then he gets a body like similar to that of a Sakyaras. So like that, it is very clearly written by, mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada. However, the devotee likes to serve the Lord. He may constantly think of Lord's associates. So we are following the footsteps of the associates of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that we should always follow in the footsteps of the gopis. We cannot imitate them, but we can follow in their footsteps. That is very important. We cannot imitate great personalities, but we can always follow in their footsteps. So he may constantly think of the Lord's associates. One time, one devotee asked Prabhupada, is it only required that I should think Krishna to go to Krishna? What if I think about you always? I'm always thinking about Prabhupada. What will be my destination? Then also will I go to spiritual world or should I will go to any other place? Prabhupada said, if you always think about me also, you will come there. Because when you think about Lord's devotees, that also will give the same result only. Lord's pure devotees, if you think, whatever their destination, because you will go to their place, where they are situated. They are already situated in spiritual world, Vaikunta. So you will definitely be with them because you are always thinking about them. So that's why here, Prabhupada writes here, he may constantly think of Lord's associate. What are who are Lord associates here? Prabhupada writes the cowherd boys, the gopis, the Lord's father, mother, his servants, and trees, lands, animals, plant, water, and the Lord's support. See, that's why we are also praying to Tulasi Maharani, Bhakti Pradayini, Tulasi Maharani, because we are not worshipping any other plant. There are so many plants here in this place. But why we are worshipping only Tulsi Maharani? Because Tulsi Maharani is intimately associated with the Lord. And because you are worshipping Tulsi Maharani, then again you will be easily, you can actually go, to spiritual world. The servants, trees, lands, animals, and same animal when you say we are worshipping cow. There are so much, dog is there, cat is there, camel is there, elephant is there. We are not worshipping any animal, but we are only worshipping cow because Namo Brahmane Devaya Go Brahmane Hitaya Jagadidaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Because Krishna loves cows and Krishna is intimately connected with cows. So that's why we are actually worshipping cow, Go Mata. We don't say Go, we say Go Mata. We consider as one of the mothers. There are 7 mothers. One of the mother is actually Go Mata. Because of constantly thinking of these features, one acquires a transcendental position. So either you think of Lord or Lord's associates, the result will be same. The destination is same, that you will be liberated, you will go back to spiritual world and you will get the same form as the Lord. That is called as Sarupya Mukti. Kings like Sisupal, Dantavakra, Kamsa, Poundraka, Narakasura and Salva were also similarly delivered. So examples are given here who are inimical towards Krishna like Sisupal, Dantavakra, Kamsa, Poundraka, Narakasura. Narakasura only we celebrate Diwali. Salva, we are also similarly delivered. This is confirmed by Madhvacharya. The verse is given. Poundrake, Narake, Chaiva, Salve, Kamse, Rukmini. Vishtastu Harer Bhaktas Tat Bhaktya Harim Apere. Poundraka, Narakasura, Salva, and Kamsa were all inimical. They were not favorable towards the supreme personality of God. But because all these kings constantly thought of him, they achieved the same liberation, which is that called as Sa Rupya. Rupya means same form. Rupya Mukti is liberation. Sa Rupya Mukti. The Jnana Bhaktas, this is little bit mixed with Jnana. The Bhaktas having little bit mixed with Jnana. The Jnana Bhakta, the devotee who follow the path of Jnana, also attain the same destination. Even the enemies of the Lord achieve salvation by constantly thinking about the Lord. Here, Prabhupada writes, what is the destination of the enemies? What about to be the set pure devotees who always engage in the Lord's service and who think of nothing but the Lord in every activity? So, if these people, who are these 2 people like Krishna Prabhupada is writing here, one is enemies of the Lord and also the Jnana Bhaktas, not pure devotees who are actually following path of bhakti, but they are more inclined towards Jnana, cultivating knowledge. They also achieve the same destiny. If these 2 categories are there, then what about pure devotees? Pure devotees means they are Anya Vilasha Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, who don't have no tinge of Jnana, no tinge of karma, but anukulyasya Krishnanaseelanam. They always think Krishna in favorable way. What will be their destination? If these people are able to get the topmost destination, what about people who are practicing better than them, constantly thinking about the Lord? They will be definitely, they will achieve the wonderful destination. That's what here it is mentioned. Very beautifully, Narada Muni is actually expressing this Sarupya Mukti, this verse. And following this, there is next section, which is verse number 41 to 50. That is the conclusion, which is mentioning about Phalashruti. Whatever we read in this chapter, the Phalashruti Narada Muni is giving. What will be the Phalashruti? If you are reading or hearing these verses, and also he is glorifying the Pandavas. So that is what the verse number 41 to 50. 41 to 50, almost 10 verses. 10 verses actually, this has been Phalashruti and actually glorification of Pandavas. With that, actually, Narada Muni means this main important section is there. Then after that, I think this chapter has more total how many? 70 verses is there. And 51 to 70 is Lord Shiva destroys the 3 invisible cities of the demons. That is from 51 to 70. This chapter 10 is being completed.
Prabhuji, 39 comes in which section, Prabhuji? 39.
39, 35 to 50, Narada Muni concludes these 3 births of Jaya Vijaya and Sarupya Mukti. So 39 also comes salvation by absorption.
Okay.
Salvation by absorption. How these kings by God's salvation just by always remembering Krishna. That is 39. And 40 talks about Sarupya Mukti.
40. Okay.
40 is Sarupya Mukti. Then 41 to 50 is actually Phalashruti and glorification of Pandavas.
So next one is our Phalashruti.
Yeah, next will be Phalashruti.
Phalashruti. Okay,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Paundraka was acting like a Krishna, no? But he is also enemy?
He was not acting. He was actually like a duplicate. No, he is telling I am Krishna to everybody. He is like somebody tells somebody, I am Prime Minister, like that. You go and do something, or Chief Minister, or I am MLA, I am MP. You are just using the name and misusing. That's what he did. Actually, he said that I am actually Krishna. Like we are saying, I am God, like that. He was saying I am Krishna actually.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And he was also not only said I am Krishna, he was also ready to fight with Krishna and kill Krishna also. Because he said I am actual Krishna, you are fraud. Like that he was telling.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Like Krishna, looking like Krishna, everything you were doing, imitating Krishna's dress, dressing, color.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or discussion?
Thank you, Prabhuji. So verse number 40 we complete. 40 completed. No. It's only completed. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, just a comment, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah, just the means this here shortly means in nutshell, pure devotees who take transcendental pleasure in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, do not care for any liberation, even if they are offered the 5 liberations. They refuse to accept them, as we explained.
They are not bothered about what kind of liberation. They are only focused on how to satisfy Krishna.
They want to serve, continuously serve Supreme. That's
so the meaning of we say that Prabhu Shravana Dasa and Varana Dasa, because no need of Godasa. So Shravana Dasa, the sage of the hearing, what to Shravan, and the Varana Dasa means constantly hearing and attached to hearing about Krishna. That is we need the 2 things. We have to hear about Krishna, and always that stage. That will be, we have to, that is the only thing from this thing. So morning we are chanting 16 rounds, and yesterday the full of Bhagavatam, yesterday we have Abhishekam and full of programs. We are always engaged in these things. That is the requirement.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other discussion? Anybody has?
Anybody else have any thing to add? I think Prabhuji, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you all. Thank you all
Thank you
for
very much,
joining.
Prabhuji. We are lucky. So today also after 2-3 days. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Yeah. So
Qualified. But,
thank you all devotees for joining. Please do join tomorrow also without fail. Hare Krishna. So we are lucky to have Prabhuji today. So we'll chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and for Prabhuji as well as all the devotees who are present today, for everybody's spiritual progress. All together.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Jai Ram,
Hare
Jai Ram.